Hi there, it's Indigo Jung losing the will to live after a turmoil of a month. And today, to soothe my to soothe my demons, I will be mixing down Ayrton Hood's Lost in the Moment. So I'm gonna begin by taking in a reference track, and the reference track I've selected is MJ Cole's Serotonin. As you can see, it's peaking just below 0 and the RMS is about -12. Let's go to a heavy bit. It's quite a dynamic track, this, actually, even though it is quite loud, because it's the bass is hitting at 6, as you can see on here. I've got like a warp thing on it as well. Hold on. I don't think it'll change the volume really, but let's have a look. Oh no. A little bit over 6, basically. I just chose this track because it's got a similar bass sound selection, and it's got vocal, and it's got similar speed, and etc, etc, etc. So now let's listen to Ayrton Hood's Lost in the Moment. Okay. Oh, put the warp off that as well. Okay, first impressions, it's a lot quieter, obviously. Second impressions is the drums are driving everything forward, and the instruments are kind of in the background a little bit. So I think it would be good basically to bring up the 1K range where all the instruments are going to be and all the mids, and kind of leave all the transients, because the transients are good. The kick and the snare are really nice and snappy. So really, it's just the 1K range to the mids that I think needs some focus on. But let's listen to this again. And the brights on that are really bright as well. So maybe we could bring up some brights as well. So anyway, let's just begin by putting a limiter on the whole thing and bringing it up to a reasonable RMS. So just gonna pull it up, and then we can see on the little fader here, want it round about -10ish to begin with. Okay, it's at -11 now, which isn't loud enough, but that's why we're gonna mess around with some frequencies. See, the bass, what we've got there, it's under 6. We need to bring that bass and mid stuff into the 6. But we want to do it without distorting anything, so we want to get it fat, but we don't want it distorted. So next we're going to go into an EQ, and we're just going to have a look at the EQ curves on both of these tracks. So let's just go back to the reference now. So what you'll notice is it's very flat around about this 100 to 1K range, and it's dynamic, but it looks very, very, very controlled. So there's all this dynamism, whatever you want to call it, around this area. But you can see that it's so controlled, even though there's a lot of movement. So we want to kind of match that control. in our track. So let's have a look at our track now. So as you can see, this area is dipping slightly, and there's a lot of different bits of dynamism there that needs to be properly controlled. So we're kind of looking at 100 to 1K, which I said before, where we need to control it all and get it sounding nice and thick and juicy, etc, etc, etc. So we're going to, because we don't want to mess up the phase, there's this thing here called Multipass, and we're going to go in here and we're going to select what we were talking about. So it was 100-ish, wasn't it? Let's try and get it exactly where it is. 100, 2K maybe even, but let's just be sensible at the minute. It's behind 100 really. It's can I get exactly what this is? Okay, let's just start at 80. I think that'll be a good idea. So let's go up to here and go to 80. One good idea actually is this. I know this is getting a bit, this is quite a complicated thing, but I think it would be good just to add it in as an idea. I think it's E that this is in. C, D, E. Dun, dun. I think it's an E, yeah. So let's just quickly have a look at where the lowest E is next to 82. Okay, well that's kind of where we were at, wasn't it? So let's go to 82 exactly. It's fine, 81 will do. Okay, and then let's go up to, let's just double check this as well, 1000. It's just good to have this as a reference, because when you start distorting everything in these areas, you want to go for the areas. If the distortion starts at an E and ends at the E, then all the harmonic frequencies in between, they're going to resonate around E basically, which is what you want. And it's not going to be like fully perceptible, but it's just a good reference to start with. So let's go 1319. Also, by the way, okay, so that's 82, and then 13. Sorry, 1319, 13. It's just going to put 13 basically. The higher up you go, the less perceptible it is to mess around with frequencies basically. The low needs to be exact, because those are the most tone perceptible. But the higher up you go, the more you can hear like clashes basically. Okay, so we selected the area that we want to control. First thing we want to do is we're going to put a compressor on it. This is all the stuff that we want to have fun with. So the kick is coming through a lot there, so when we do start to mess around with this, I feel like it might distort a little bit, but hopefully it'll be okay. Okay, so can we see how much gain is being lost here? It's hard to tell, but we're going to increase it by. In fact, you know what? We're not going to increase it yet. What we're going to do? We're taking off. I think about 3 dB again there. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to saturate it a little bit, so that all of the frequencies blend together, and we get that thickness that we want. So let's. So just a nice saturation here. Okay, let's just try distortion and saturate. Okay, and I'm just going to put a tiny bit there. Just put it really loud so you can hear the effect of it, and then tone it back down. Okay, it's not actually that bad. We've really driven it quite a lot there. And it doesn't seem that we've made it really distorted there, which is good. So there we go. We've driven that bit. So now we should have quite a lot of warmness put back in this. And when we check on the EQ that we put afterwards, we should see that all of this section that was a bit overly dynamic and loose before is being filled out. Right, and we've also got to put this behind the limiter. Rookie mistake. So now if we look on this, we can see that when our kicks and bass kick in, we've got everything's at 6 now. There you go. I think that's healthy. Although it is sounding a little bit muddy, so we're going to back it off a little bit. A little bit more down. Doing a mastering mix down, it's just about it's just being very, very gentle with things. You've just got to identify what the issue is and don't push it too hard, just a little, you know, and then it'll just all build up slowly, slowly, slowly. And maybe we've compressed it a bit too much as well. Hold on. Yeah. When we want to A/B test it, we need to match the volume as well. So what I'm going to do, this needs to be okay. The issue now is we really want to separate these out into 2 bands, because it was a bit too ambitious going from 80 to 100 to 1000. So I think we're gonna get as high as we can. So let's go to 655 for this. 659. And I want to keep it exact on this because it's lower frequencies. 650. Already that sounds like a lot better, just because the higher frequencies are not being all squished together by the compressor, but the mids, etc., are, and that's making it sound nice and full. Brilliant, that's good, I like that. So we're from 655 up to 1K. Let's get something going on. So let's go to, where were we going to go again? To the E. 1, 3, 1, 3. Again, it's higher frequencies now, so it doesn't have to be exact. Okay. What's wrong with this mid-range? It just needs a bit of... it doesn't need any compression. It just needs harmonic stuff added to it, basically. So let's put solo this way. Okay, I'm going to go higher now, I think. So I'm going to go to 2000. When you get into higher, tiny changes are going to affect the whole spectrum of the sound when you get higher and you start... when you mess around with bass, you can move it from like 80 to 200 and it's going to be like more forgiving. But when you get higher, from 1K upwards, there's so many different moods and tones that you go through that you need to get a bit more specific with what you're doing. So I'm going to go up to the next harmonic, which is 263. Okay, let's play it all together anyway. Okay, it's sounding good. Our bass is at -6, which is good. Let's just compare it to MJ Cole again, just so our ears don't get confused. Cool, alright, let's listen to this again. Okay, now this is sounding a lot more tight in the low end still. Okay, so what we're gonna go back here now, and we're gonna let's try something a little bit different. Realistically, we really want to isolate just the bass now. Let's just drive this a bit more. Or we're gonna make one more. I'm sorry. Hold on. Let's go from 330 instead. So 330. 330. Okay. And then this bit can be... Oh no, let me do one more. Oh, okay. And then this bit can be the 330. Okay. Yeah, that's sounding a lot more fatter now, the bass. So now you can distort bass a little bit more because it's going to bleed into everything. That's what I mean about bass being a bit more forgiving. So it is sounding like it's close to the point of breaking now, but I think we could probably go that hard. Yeah, it's distorting a bit too much now, isn't it? So let's just back it off a bit. Let's go 4. We'll go 4, and it's this section as well. We're gonna. It's yeah. Doesn't sound good, that does it? Let's keep the drive off. And there is some EQing that needs to be done as well. So let's just quickly EQ this as well. So before it goes into this multi-band compressor, we're just gonna cut a little bit around. Cut a little bit around this, like this area, basically. So under 311, we don't want to cut. We don't want to cut like 330 because that's where the resonancy is going to be nice. But generally, this area altogether hasn't got a brilliant resonancies going on around here. So let's just take one of these and let's just make it quite tight as well. Okay, and let's listen to this with this solo. Okay. Let's go back to MJ Core. Yeah, let's get this controlled. Yeah, cool. Okay, and now can we put some more bass in now? Yeah, okay, brilliant. So let's go and take this bit now. And since we've controlled all this bit, we can control this bit a lot nicer. So. Now, there's a lot being taken out there. There is a lot being taken out there. However, it's just that snare. It's just the snare's like taking so much of the dynamic range in there. It's a bit of like a mixing problem, but this isn't made for mixing. This is a mix down. So, you know, we've got to work with what we got. So anyway, let's have a look at the graph now, and you'll be able to see that all of this area should be much more controlled now. Cool, so it is much more controlled now. It looks much more flat. It doesn't look as dynamic, but I don't think we're losing anything in the vibe. So now that we've controlled all of that, and it looks like you can see that we've lost a lot of volume there, -6. But we're gonna just increase the limiter now and see if we can get it up to below -10. Cool, alright, it sounded nice and healthy and dynamic. Okay, I think now what we can do is we can then, let's go add on a little bit of high end, I think. I think we're going to add on a little bit of high end, and we're going to do a little bit of saturation just to mix it all together. And I think that's going to make it sound pretty good. So let's go put like a nice saturator on it, just a little bit there, and then let's just put a little bit of high lift on it before the saturator. Yeah, I think what I would do is, if I was mixing this, I would just take the vocals, just cut some like 400 or something in the vocals, because it sounded muddy, the vocals. But generally, I think it's sounding good. It's at a good volume. Yeah, I think it's sounding good. I think it's sounding a bit fuller now. It's more evenly spaced, like as in all the dynamics are evened out. I feel like there's space for everything to breathe, although it is a bit muddy with the vocals, but you know. Yeah, I think the last thing I try and do is do some sort of like corrective EQ on the vocals. But I can't be asked. So thanks for tuning in. I hope that's helped with if you're lost a love for life recently and are slowly dying, but you still want to mix. So thanks very much. Okay, so now we're going to compare my master to the AI's master, and you let me know which one's better. Indigo Jung signing off.
Let's come to this and neon mix. The dust settles around us. Let's come to this and neon mix. The dust settles around us.